Everything begins when his only daughter suddenly disappears. Following the clues to the scene, what strikes his eyes is a pool of blood and the hair tie of the one who used to bully his daughter. At that moment, asking exactly one question, "Where is my daughter?" To understand Kim asked with a trembling voice, "Minji, is that you?" Back to Two Monsters officially began. A little about Kim deep past going back to the year 1997 in North Hamgyong province of North Korea. Director General Dai and his subordinates went to orphanages to select the most elite children to turn them into sharp blades to serve him. Standing in front of the whole classroom, he drew out all kinds of promises about honor and glory, which sounded very grand but were actually just a scam to choose cannon fodder. One kid volunteering only in exchange for eating a full meal. The innocent children raised their hands one by one asking to follow. But what he needed was not many people but the strongest one. He immediately ordered all of them to rush in and fight each other. Whoever was left standing at the end would have the right to move forward. In a short moment, the whole room was left with only Dongguang standing firmly amid the pile of children lying scattered. It truly is different for the legendary number 66 later on. Right when about to leave, a skinny boy unexpectedly hugged Dongguang's leg tightly. Even after being knocked down, he still tried to crawl up and cling on. That action made Director General Dai feel interested. He also conveniently picked that boy as well. When asked his name, he only had time to answer one word, Kim, and then fainted. It turned out the renowned Agent Kim of both regions was once a North Korean orphan child selected in that way. Transitioning to a place bearing a very flowery name, which is the Special Operations Unit of the Democratic People Republic of Korea. It sounds majestic but is actually a notorious assassin training camp. The children brought here only had one single goal: to become agents and then bring back the heads of high-ranking South Korean officials. All emotions were wiped clean, only allowed to exist to fight. A boy, just because of panicking when seeing a bird fall right under his feet, was instantly handled by Director General D using a weapon. In this place, weakness means losing your life. From then on, the children no longer had names. They were only called by numbers. Every day they went through training sessions even more terrifying than hell. After many years, number 66, Dongguang was recognized by Director General D as the most outstanding soldier in North Korea. That made number 73, who was exactly Kim, develop jealousy and then dive headfirst into training like crazy. Because in this place, losers only have one ending. Coming to the final training session, the dozens of children from back then were now left with exactly two survivors, number 66 and number 73. After that was their process of outstanding development. Not long after, the two and their teammates gathered and were sent to Gangwon province to carry out the assassination mission of high-ranking South Korean officials. Unexpectedly, all their movements had been grasped in advance by the South Korean side. The whole team fell into an ambush. The sound of explosions filled the sky. Teammates fell one after another. In the end, only number 73 survived. When waking up, Kim suddenly remembered the day Dongguang set off. The younger brother cried bitterly, running after him, while the older brother just smiled and promised that he would definitely return to pick him up later. It is truly saddening. Back to the present, the person pointing a gun at Kim is exactly that younger brother, who is also the new number 66. He always believed the words of Director General D.E. that Kim himself betrayed and struck his brother from behind to steal the codename number 66. Right at the moment the situation hung by a thread, two agents from the South Korean Intelligence Bureau unexpectedly appeared to rescue him. They continuously advised Kim to surrender to avoid shedding blood. However, when they learned Minji had been kidnapped, both paused, finally choosing to silently clear the way so that father could continue searching for his daughter. As Kim and Hansu just left while everyone was careless, number 66 suddenly snatched the gun and instantly reversed the situation. The neighbor uncle running the dry cleaning shop got shot and collapsed to the ground. Sangha immediately charged forward alone to block the way, but the true strength of number 66 was too overwhelming. She was almost forced to retreat continuously. Luckily, Kim and Hansu took advantage of the time to retreat safely. By the time only the two agents were left, the neighbor uncle slowly sat up. It turned out the bullet was only embedded in his bulletproof vest, giving Sangha a huge scare. On this side, Kim was not doing any better. The bullet lodged in his hip, making him have to self-treat and apply first aid right in the car while moving. Hansu was busy checking Kim's situation when unexpectedly Jin Cheol came to block right in front of the car, shouting and spreading his arms wide. Hansu was startled and braked, burning the tires. Whenever the three uncles meet, the tense atmosphere inevitably turns into a comedy. After regrouping, all three immediately went to the train station to find the homeless man who once picked up Minji's phone. Upon arriving and asking forever, he still absolutely refused to reveal half a word. Jin Cheol got annoyed and grabbed his collar, threatening to drag him into an alley for a private talk. Thus, he turned pale with fear and confessed everything without missing a word. He recounted that he picked up the phone in the trash can after seeing with his own eyes a man step out of a white car with his hair neatly tied up in a bun and casually throw it away right in the night. In the car, Hansu immediately hacked into the security camera system. Before long, he identified the person who threw the phone away as Sangman, belonging to the Gold Tooth Gang. Meanwhile, at the seaport, the thugs from earlier were sitting drinking, eating, and gloatingly recalling the story of Chairman Do's daughter taking another person's life. They will exploit this weakness of the old man. The whole group laughed gleefully, as if they just achieved a military exploit. Just then, a subordinate accidentally picked a piece of potato for the boss of the Gold Tooth Gang, touching right on a sensitive nerve, making him instantly go crazy, grab him, and beat him relentlessly. That scene made him recall 9 years ago when he was still an underling. The boss himself pushed him down from a high floor to use him as a sacrifice, making him stay in the hospital for a long time. On the day of recovery, the first thing he did was to send his boss straight to hell and then sit himself in the boss position. After that, Chairman Do once took the initiative to meet him, not only thinking nothing of him but also mocking him right to his face. In anger, he immediately ordered his subordinates to confront the forces of Chairman Do. But the more they clashed, the more he understood the gap between the two sides was too large. From money and power to tricks, he stood no chance compared to Chairman Do. After being beaten to a pulp, he was also mocked as just a dog betraying its owner. Not stopping there, Chairman Do sent people to pry his mouth open and stuff a piping hot potato straight into his mouth to the point that all his teeth were ruined. And from then on, he had to live with fake gold teeth. Also, because of that humiliation, he got the nickname Gold Tooth. Up to now, every time he sees a potato, he still cannot help but be haunted. Back to the present, the three guys began transporting the corpse to dispose of it. Right when the whole group was carrying the sack intending to go into the warehouse, they were discovered by the security guard. The Gold Tooth guy calmly answered, "That is right, we are going to dispose of a corpse here," making the guard think he was joking. But right after that, he turned and ordered Sangman to handle the old man as well, truly killing two birds with one stone, conveniently moving both corpses into the cold storage. Meanwhile, on the way to the port, as the car just drove onto the bridge, Jin Cheol suddenly saw a very familiar figure ahead. He just cried out, "It looks like Director Kang," while the other two still did not understand what was happening. The car just rushed to the exact position that had been rigged with explosives. Director Kang immediately pressed to activate. The explosion rang out, the car was thrown and then flipped many times in the middle of the bridge surface. A few seconds later, the first person to crawl out of the scrap metal was Hansu, brushing the dust off his body. The uncle also did not forget to mock Director Kang that, "Today I am very angry at you." After speaking, he immediately rushed into combat. Hansu continuously launched attacks, making Director Kang have to both block and calculate the striking angles to find a way to neutralize them. The more the two fought, the more enthusiastic they got, no different from loving each other in a physical way. It was that stalling tactic that created enough time for Kim to steal Director Kang's car and then quickly leave the scene. The idlest person turned out to be Jin Cheol. Seeing the Intelligence Bureau agents coming more and more, the uncle very sensibly raised both hands to surrender right from the start. Meanwhile, in the cold storage, Minji unexpectedly woke up in the sack, her whole body freezing cold and her head still dizzy. The little girl tried to struggle out and continuously called for help in the middle of the vast warehouse, but around her there was only silence left. On the Gold Tooth Gang side, the boss ordered Sangman to go to the warehouse to take a picture of the corpse as evidence, but the subordinate was bewildered and did not understand his intention, making the Gold Tooth guy so angry his face distorted. It is true that raising subordinates only increases blood pressure. Ultimately, he had to go to the warehouse himself. On the way, he directly called the assistant of Chairman Do, no longer beating around the bush but straightforwardly demanding to meet the chairman, also sending the edited audio recording, making it seem like Heji ordered him to handle the body. On this side, Chairman Du was also interrogating Heji about the whole incident. When he determined his child lied to him, the first thing was giving her a fiery slap. One would think he would be angry because his daughter caused a murder. Who would expect that what annoyed him the most was his precious daughter daring to handle it arbitrarily without reporting to him. He coldly said if someone's life really had to be taken, then the one taking action must be him, and it would never be her turn. After that, he asked one more question that made a chill go down. Heji's spine, "Are you sure that girl cannot come back to life anymore?" Leaving the room, Chairman Du immediately instructed his subordinates to let the Goldtooth gang themselves become the ones who must take responsibility for Minji's death. Meanwhile, in the warehouse, Minji was almost exhausted. The little girl hugged her body tightly because of the cold, trying to clench her teeth and make no sound, hoping someone would find her. Just then, Kim also just arrived at the port, spotted the white car that had appeared on the camera, so he immediately followed the trail. After observing for a while, he discovered a suspicious door and quietly entered. Almost at the same time, the Goldtooth guy also opened the door and stepped into the warehouse. One side is a father looking for his daughter. One side is a person looking for a corpse that he is certain is still lying there. Inside the place Kim just broke into, there were only two subordinates sitting guard. As for inside the cold storage, Minji and the Goldtooth guy were no different from playing hide-and-seek. Just one small sound would be enough to make the little girl be discovered. Luckily, he received a call from Chairman Du. As soon as he opened his mouth, he pretended to ask about Heji's health, and smirked teasingly that like father, like daughter, taking a person's life, yet the face remains completely unbothered. Then he got straight to the point, demanding 2 billion won in cash along with the teeth of Chairman Du's assistant, the one who years ago stuffed the hot potato into his mouth. At the same time, he demanded Chairman Du must come alone if he still wants to settle things peacefully. However, right after hanging up, Chairman Du just slightly curled his lip in a smile and calmly signaled all his subordinates to set off. It is clear that from beginning to end, he never let anyone else become a danger to himself, but only wanted to take this opportunity to wipe out the entire Goldtooth gang. Just as the call ended, behind the cold storage door, a very soft sound suddenly rang out. The boss of the Goldtooth gang slowly turned his head around. Minji was finally discovered. The two gazes instantly met like a hungry wolf, discovering a hidden prey. As for Agent Kim's side, the two thugs guarding the door were not even qualified to block his path. Just as they were about to stand up, they were consecutively taken down. But will this father be able to find his pitiful daughter before it is too late? Alright, our episode today ends here, and this is just my objective analysis and review of the episode. To support the film crew and fully enjoy every moment, please go to the theater or watch it on official platforms. Thank you for watching and see you in the next movie review and analysis. Bye-bye.